Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 4 of Higher or Lower. This is a companion series to, and it's not working. Okay, this is a companion series to Guess the WN8. Here, my viewers send me games, and I'll have to guess if their WN8 and win rate are higher or lower than the last replay that I saw. Now, obviously, first replay here, so no guessing. We're just going to YOLO through it and see what happens. Enjoy the game. I'll give commentary to the best of my ability, and we'll see what happens. Now, this is a paid submission. In fact, all 5 replays that we're going to cover today are paid submissions. You can find out how to submit for this series and guess the WN8 in the description. Paid replays are guaranteed to be used, and yeah, we are sat in a bush in a BT-42. Now, instinctually, my mind wants to call this a Russian tank, but to my memory, it's German. We do take the derp shot there, and it's a BT tank. Reputation in my mind, or the general rule, is that if it's BT in the name, then it has very good horsepower per ton ratio, accelerates pretty damn fast, but the top speed is limited. See that on all the BT tanks in the game that I am aware of. But what you might not see is this categorically cruel derp gun. I don't know a huge amount about this thing beyond the fact that it's a tier 5 derp and Tommy loves it. So playing it at this kind of distance here is somewhat questionable, I would argue. Oh, does get spotted on the way back there. What can that tell us at this point? Well, what are we missing on the enemy team? We're missing a Chaffee, aren't we? So getting spotted there in a light tank on the move would imply to me that the enemy Chaffee is in... Where is he? He's in this bush right there. So blind fires of this big old derp gun with its HE or heat shells into that location would probably get you a Chaffee kill, if not a good deal of damage. Now, shell travel... Oh, that would have been bold. Shell travel time will be a concern with these shots that we're speculating on here. But we have lost the town. And honestly, I don't feel like you're needed here at this point, alright? The field's fairly occupied, fairly well defended, fairly well established, crossfires and multi-level engagements. So I do think this is the right play to head back, consolidate position, try and maybe bolster the other flank a little bit. The enemy have got an M6 that's supposedly on full health in the town that we might be able to plunk a heat shell into if he acts like a mini Burke and just charges outside on or something dumb. So we're gonna look forward to that. Looking for the M10 here, a bit of overcommitment. Look at this position. We are so far away from cover from any angle that might appear. Like, this is really poor. I understand we were trying to spot on that corner, but even if we do, we get one shot. If we don't get the kill, we're gonna get hammered. So, potentially poor decision making there, I would argue. Does get spotted on the run past. Still can't find the M10. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I like the hesitancy. The hesitancy is potentially good here because going where we're going right now... Oh, I forgot about the random events. 3 hit points left on that guy. Does get the kill, rocking back and forth, spinning like a top. I forgot about the random events opening up this area of the map. Interesting. Okay, heat shells are being loaded. They will certainly go through the booty of an M6 if you get it. And most places on the E2 well, I say most places, the side on the E2, the front, maybe not. Okay, that is bold. Small gun from the M6, interesting. Only tracking damage, unfortunate. But we don't want to run now, our team are going in, we want to be in there, taking hits, using our hit points. Okay, don't want to take a hit if we're giving nothing in return. Good stop there. Whew. And we're using our mobility to go all the way around. Lovely. Don't fuck up the shot. Splendid. Okay, wait. You know the arty was aimed at this location. You want to wait. There was no reason to go blazing around the corner like that. You were in perfect cover. Just give it 10 seconds. Alright? Don't allow the arty to get that lucky shot. Interesting that Chaffee has got himself killed. I'd be curious to look back and see where and when that guy appeared. Okay. And yellowing back out onto the field here is probably a good choice. It's interesting to me that he's got max view range, as you can see indicated by this circle on the map here. And doesn't take the shot, just spots him for his supportive fire. Lovely stuff. Okay, and oh yes, priorities. Cromwell, most flexible and powerful tank left on the enemy team. So if we can get damage into that, it is incredibly valuable. So I like the prioritization, but oh, and that is a lucky fire. SU-100I on the high ground, giving a bit of overwatch. Useful information, managed to get out there with 2 health. My word, what an achievement. Okay, 2 TDs left. Now, TDs in this circumstance could be difficult, but as I pointed out earlier, max view range does allow him to pick up the Hellcat and not get spotted in return. We know that our base view range is likely going to exceed that of the opposition. We do fire there a little hasty, I would argue. Not really necessarily, because there was that possibility that the SU had relocated onto the high ground there. Somewhat unlikely, but even if he's still there, he may well have had a shot at you in this location, depending on how lucky or unlucky you were. But now, one line is looking very good, keeping that distance. Alright, we already have demonstrated that we can outspot the Hellcat. So using that information, get close to the wreckage, loading a heat shell. Okay, lead, very good. And still doesn't get lit. Poor view range on that Hellcat. I believe I actually use optics on most of my TDs nowadays, just because binos are very relevant to the game in the current meta. Interesting position to find that SU. Huh. Okey-doke. I guess he was looking to be a bit defensive. We know the arty has just fired, so we should be able to just yellow over here and send him to the good night. Okay, cool. A reasonably well-played game. Let's use it as a benchmark, find out what the stats are, and then move on. Okay, so we got around 2,300 WN8 and 55.74. So pretty damn good to start off with. Okay, next replay. Okay, I would say lower already, but that feels somewhat cynical. So, instead, we're about to watch an arty replay that starts out rather aggressively. Batchat 15558 with full standard shells. I'm hoping they're AP, because that'd be sexy. Oh, standard stunning shells. Okay. So, Batchat 15558, almost without a doubt, the worst arty in the game, bar none. It has a 3-shot autoloader, it has 10 seconds between the shells, and it is terrible. You ever wanted to do like 60 damage every 10 seconds, and then, 3 times every 10 seconds, and then do nothing for like a minute? That's what this tank does. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It makes me so overjoyed. Yes, we've done 331 damage, and we now reload for 50 seconds around there. It is the worst abomination in the entire game. Well, it's not. I'm just annoyed because Batchat. And what do you commentate on in a Batchat 15558 replay? I fast forward the games anyway in the higher or lower series because we overview them much less severely than we do with Gesta WN8, but I'm gonna have to be forwarding even more when we're watching a Piggy gameplay, because half of it is literally nothing. 139, well, how very exciting. Let's fast forward again. What am I meant to read from this? I mean, it's gonna take a lot for me to... I sure wouldn't know it. It's gonna take a lot for me to think that this player is better than 55. Like, I don't know what an arty player could possibly do to make me give them a 55% rating. Like, I don't know what it is possible to do. Maybe we'll see in the end game. Maybe this game will massively open up and he'll flank and get behind people and do epic things and no reloads and stuff like that. Maybe. We shall see. Hey, we're loaded again. Okay, play aim on the top here. That's something, I guess. Now, we're going to be a little concerned. I'm curious as to why that T100 LT is poking about low instead of doing stuff on the one line. Right, the enemy have a lot of tanks that are capable of supporting him egressing up this flank by going low or by going behind him. So it's odd that he hasn't poked or appeared over there, or at least got some presence over there. Our Grill is relocating to A2. Oddly enough, you'd think a more relevant position might be B2. Maybe he is headed that way after all. Do get a pound into the IS-7. That's something. Looks like our team are organising a re-push on the Leopard. That would be nice. Depending on how the enemy team's dispersed. We've got to remember, we still do have an unspotted 114 SP. That could be of relevance if we're going to re-push the Leo. Got presence in the mid again. And the issue with blind shotting in the Batchat 15558 is it just brings you closer to that inevitable reload, that inevitable period of the game in which you are forced to do literally nothing. And it just feels so dull when you... What is that LT doing? Why is he going linearly into the enemy force? Also, why do we still have a full health E100 and full health E4? Like, the TDs, maybe I understand a little more. We got a full health IS-7 and a mostly healthy... Well, I say mostly healthy. He just took, like, 700 damage somewhere around there. What does that tell us? Grill 15 at the back here, most likely. T100, mate. T100. T100. You may well have a shot. You could probably angle a shot over the lay of the land there, yeah? 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 Feels like you can make it. Gonna have to take it. Yep. Okay. Oh, I was thinking you wait and get the blind shot on him on the way out. That's what I would have gone for, because it would have been sexy. Okay, Grill 15 going after the T100. Doesn't pick him up, but I mean, we have the advantage in this game at this point, to be honest. It's more in the balance than I might give it credit for. But what's the most important tank to kill? Probably the T100. Represents the last sort of amount of flexibility and really good stealth, apart from the Grill 15, that the enemy have. So prioritizing that guy, I'd argue, would be a fantastic thing to do right now. There he is. Do land a hit. I do want to see you prioritizing the T100 LT though. Although, in his position, he's not really that influential, especially with the Grill above him. I'd argue that his time is very limited at this point, so perhaps prioritization into other people was indeed merited at this particular game circumstance. Okay, we want to relocate a little further down to sort of F1, G1 right now, just to get better shots at the IS-7. Right, if we relocate further forward, we avoid this wall being in the way. If we can shoot from like K1, we can probably get even better shots, but we do have angles opening up. Misses completely, does no damage, brings you closer to the 50-second reload. Misses completely, does no damage. Like, this is just Batchat 58. It is nowhere near accurate enough to justify the dynamics of this gun. Nowhere near. This tank is garbage. Oh, if you're grinding up this line, do yourself a favor, stop at tier 8. There is nothing worth having above tier 8. Okay, and now we're at K1. K2's looking appealing as well at this point. Yeah, slow relocation. See, this is all you have to analyze in arty. Oh wow, he actually moved up a flank. Which is, normally you look at an arty move and you're like, wow. But in a Batchat, half the time, you don't have anything else to do anyway, so it's even less remarkable to see Batchats moving than other arty. 46 damage! God damn! This thing is crippling. Okay, can we get to cap? I wouldn't stop. Do not stop. You need to get to cap. Go. Go. Do not stop. Get in cap. Get in cap. Get in the cap. Get. What was that reset? Vladimir, you gormless fuck! How are you justifying? Maybe he was gonna get shot by the Grill, but he's hold down almost. Maybe he got reset. Maybe. Get in the cap! Get in the cap! It's the only chance you have! Get in the cap! You came all this way! Oh, and they are 70 getting reset. Oh, pen on the Grill! You had to be in the cap earlier, just like right at the edge, see if you can get away with it. It was the only chance you had. Oh. I think like 52, 53. A better player gets in the cap because they know it is their only chance of winning at that point. So I'm gonna say lower. And I was right. Yeah, well, I wasn't right. I guessed 52, but it's an arty replay, so I'm giving myself a lot of leeway. Okay, higher or lower than 48%. Let's go. Rheinmetall Borsig. One of my favorite tanks in the game when it's using the gun it's using here, the big gun Borsig. We got Bounty Turbo, Bounty Optics, Bounty Low Noise. Now let's talk about the Borsig, shall we? What is it? 215 standard pen up to 334 with heat. It's one of the largest jumps for premium ammo in the game, well over 100 millimeters of pen. And that is well led, my dude. That is well led indeed. With AP on the Borsig, like the jump in shell travel time, 716 to 575 on heat. That can't catch you out. Now, for me, I fired it pretty much exclusively. Okay, if you can connect this, it would be valuable. AP will go through the obstruction. Lovely. Looks like we're playing a Borsig a little more up front than a lot of people would normally expect, but this is one of the benefits of having that alpha damage, right? Being able to threaten people off of angles is why I talk about the value of having big alpha damage, even when you don't have armor or mobility to support it. If you're there, people can be threatened, and going up on this angle is gonna afford him something nice. Goes for the side. We are wielding a 15 centimeter gun here. Overmatches are very viable with AP shells, particularly on the UDES there. Aiming at the side was perfectly correct, because you get that funny overmatch. Look at this blind fire. No connection. I imagine there might be a presence out wide, but based on no spot. Interesting. Okay, and how uncomfortable are you feeling now? We know the Chauffeur's got maybe 2 shells left, depending on what he fired, when he fired. We're still going for these blind fires. Very good! Very good connection on the UDES, and we're not pushing our luck any further. Also, oh, don't do it to it. I thought you were gonna do it. It would have been very bold with the Chauffeur sitting out there, but I thought you were gonna pull back to the other angle and get him from there too. Would have killed him. Don't. I know what you're thinking. Don't do it. I mean, you're probably not thinking it, but being in the bush, and look, multi-level engagement. Yes? Yes? 1 stage, 2 stage. What is multi-level engagement good against? Linear approaches. So anything coming down the 9-0 line, this will be effective at stopping. What would it not be effective at stopping? A push-up mid. It would be less effective if the enemy were to push non-linearly. That is a very nice connection indeed. And here we go, multi-level engagement. This Chauffeur cannot consider attacking the Borsig without also considering attacking the TS5. And that is what a multi-level engagement does to you. It is why you do not push linearly into it. And now we want to take advantage of the Batchat. So we're moving up. We know there's a one-shot, presumably one-shot UDES based on our connection for him earlier. And that HE shell is going into the chamber. 950 alpha damage. We're waiting for this Scorpion to pop his little head up. No, we're going to go and find something ourselves. Are we? Or are we going to wait? Oh, I want the pen. Scorpion? We're theorizing at this point the Scorpion's moved high, most likely. Borsig versus Ut. Should be fun. aiming to McKnight, expecting, and we did. Oh, and he saves the HE shell to put it where it deserves to be, right in the side of that Scorpion. This is a very good player. This is well above 55 in my estimation. Probably sort of 58 to 60. If not better, let's say it's certainly higher than 48. And holy crap! I was not wrong. Yeah, a lot there was very indicative of very high level gameplay. Very good awareness, very good aggression, very good positioning. Okay, a bit anticlimactically, we're now doing higher or lower than 64.5% and 4,000 WN8. If you could beat that, I'll give you a goddamn medal. Let's go. Alright, okay, and here we go. A KV2. I very much enjoyed the last game. We've had a couple of games. Do you know what? It's higher or lower. I was gonna say when editing this, I might put the more exciting games at the start of the video so people don't get bored and leave, but I can't because we start guessing from the first BT42 gameplay, which I don't want to insult the player by saying was boring, but I'm mostly thinking of the Batchat game after that. You had an average game followed by an arty game. Oh lord, if you got this far in the video, say pickles in the comments. So I know. Yay! Secret. His name was Nice Fellow. That's where being nice gets you. You ninny wanker. Okay. And AP shells are working their magic in the... My word, a little bold on the driving there. This Tiger has not learned any lessons. I knew it was gonna hit. I knew it. Whenever you find AP at a Tiger in a KV2, you wait, what? Oh, oh my god, really? It did. To clarify, this marker is wrong. If it hit there, it absolutely would have pinned. This is like 80, isn't it? The Tiger? The upper thing? Or maybe it is the flat 100. Either way, it would have pinned. It hit like the top pixel of this sloped plate right here, which is basically the only place that you bounce off the front of the Tiger is this here. Wait, you're telling me that the first time he penned him, someone watch that shot for me. If that penned like from this side. Okay, right, anyway. But yeah, whenever I'm shooting at the front of a Tiger 1, I just feel like if I don't respect the possibility... Really? We are not respecting a lot of shots here. If I don't respect the possibility of that shot hitting the tiny little slope where it's going to bounce, it will hit it every single time. Dude, what are you doing? He got so scared. He got so scared of the same shit happening again. He took another shot at the only place he could bounce off. My dude, but you can't, you can't. My dude, what? Oh, wow. Like, Sure, maybe you pen this, but you definitely pen the entirety of that, and you definitely pen the entirety of this. You can even shoot the engine deck in your pen. You just... Let's see, maybe that did hit engine deck and bounce. Maybe I'm talking out my ass. Oh my god, I think... Did it actually hit? That might well have hit engine deck. Someone do the math. Does the KV2 with AP overmatch the engine deck of the Tiger? Doesn't look like it by looking at that at least. Alright, KV2 above us, does that intimidate us a huge amount? Probably not. We're struggling enough with gun depression trying to hit the low plate of a Tiger, so, okay. See? It's not that hard! I love that the second shot is my favorite in this game. It is such a reactionary shot to the first bounce. Look at this gun depression. Oh, okay. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to bounce an AP shell off of the rear of the Challenger's turret because it has a 200mm counterweight on it. And bouncing off it is incredibly funny. I bounced over 2,000 damage off the back of the Challenger's turret before. It's in one of my videos. It was good fun. There was an OI who... 759. Alpha damage, by the way, is 700 on the AP shells. And this Grill's been having no luck connecting his pennies from heaven onto Alpheus here in the KV2. Now, pushing this flank at this point presents... I mean, this is one of the reasons why this area of the map is poor. It is... Yes, you can get a lot of damage here. Tommy comes over and farms damage because he wants damage. But this flank is tactically bad because pushing it is hard if the enemy play in any way conservatively. In addition, it leads to nothing, or almost nothing viable. We have a moderate to substantial multi-level engagement here, not just with the arty, but the Challenger, Sturg, and IKV as well. Beyond that, if you push and you succeed at pushing this, the recourse for the enemy is just to put one tank there, one tank behind this house, have the arty out here, have people present there, win the town, and you're just stuck here. You can't push this. If you poke here, you get shot by this. If you try and push here, you get shot by this, spotted by this, classified by this. Like, it's just, there's no recourse against an enemy team playing intelligently from, honestly, either of these bases. Like, these bases are very, very easy to defend. And the valley push, while it can be situationally a component of a winning end game, it should not be the arbiter of it. It shouldn't be the prodigal element of your attack, because it is so easily countered from a tactical standpoint. Right, so, plowing forward. Gonna get a piggy? Maybe he's been attempting to dunk on you for the entire game. I would have taken a yellow shot there. Can we get him? Oh, yes, indeed we can. 5,000 damage, assisted by the big old Japanese tonk, blowing into a million pieces, imitated by that VK at the end there. Okay, so I have to go lower than like 64% wins or whatever it was, but I do think Alpheus is a decent player. I'm going to estimate somewhere around sort of 56, somewhere. I mean, why am I feeling 56? Maybe the last game just skewed my perception really high. But I don't know, I get a vibe of 56 for some reason. I'll stick with it. Okay, 53. Name was Alephus, or Alephus, other than whatever the hell I was saying. But we weren't right, it was lower. So, we're doing higher or lower than 53%. And this will be interesting. Let's go. Okay, a Vickers MBT. I don't know a huge amount about this tank, but the assault game mode on Redshire is a controversial one because it's bad. It's very, very difficult to play. But oh, does seem like we're going out to the K-line. Interesting. Now, normally in the Vickers MBT, I would play around here. Here. Because if there was any vision provided by a Brask or Blesk moving around this area, they would likely spot people crossing in this location, which would lead to some quite nice side shots in this sniper-orientated tank. Going out here, particularly given the lack of support showcased by the team for my position, is questionable in my mind. But does look like the enemy are putting all their eggs in the basket over there. So, ooh, and a connection from the Concept 5 decides to stay and hold the shot. A little bold, I'd say. That enemy tank certainly had time to fully aim, and that's odd. Did you connect with a tank in front of that gentleman? Would be the question. Who is getting us these spots here? Maybe the Blesk with a CVS? And look at this damage being put out. Lovely stuff. As far as I remember, the MBT does have better DBM than its sort of compadre or equal, the Leopard, if we're talking about tech tree tanks. So certainly in this combat where it's just allowed to pummel out these shots at its leisure, it's going to feel very, very good indeed, especially at this kind of distance. Oh, wow, really? Chinese spaced armor putting in a bit of work, okay. Even against APCR shells, which are standard here. Now, it's worth noting, standard APCR will lose more pen over distance than a comparative AP shell, for example, but still odd to see the bounce there based on APCR's tendency to perform better against spaced armor than AP or particularly any type of high explosive shell. Now, it's interesting to note that we have help coming in the form of an AMX-30. And poking around here with such presence established on the high ground there is questionable in my mind. Are we going to make headway on the K-line? No. Like, this is a massive crossfire. WZ set up in these bushes here, or even back here. Like, you can't push this without exposing to massive crossfire here. So, at this point, I might consider relocating elsewhere, maybe sort of positioning high. Honestly, just sitting in the middle, being flexible at this point, seeing what the enemy do, because they really have no way of winning this game at this point. So, we'll see. I just feel like I'm not that useful over here anymore, but we shall see. Maybe more of those spots will emerge. What in the... Wow, grounded shot from the WZ. Okay, a bit of a knee push. Wow, I would have been completely wrong to bugger off from here, huh? Heat shells loaded into the chamber, certainly going to allow him to deal with this WZ superstructure. Aiming outside of the gun mantle again, WZ shell floors itself once again, and that Cupola presents before the rest of the tank. Very nice. And now, pushing is viable. Just an M46 pattern on the potential crossfire, and he's not even there. So, farming damage at the end here. Oh, wow. We don't want to particularly stop. We want to get up and onto the high ground here, ideally. Because high ground here allows us shots onto this position and allows us to dominate the T-30 and the UDAs. So I like the fact that we're not going middle here. We want to climb this hill and present angles. Lovely stuff. HE shell doesn't connect. As far as I know, this thing does not have the HE pen afforded so beautifully to the Leopard. It's one of the best things about the Leopard is the HE shells that it has. Unfortunately, not found on this. I'll just check that, just in case I'm spouting bollocks. I am spouting bollocks. Okay, never mind. I am surprised to see 105 pen perform so poorly against the T-30 there. But, interesting. Interesting indeed. This could be very similar. There were a couple of questionable, well, I'll say a couple. There was one questionable sort of poke around the inside when you still had theoretically a lot of potential to get spotted and shot from the high ground. But we didn't pursue that. I feel like it's very similar. I'm gonna go 54, though. I feel like 54 is reasonable, so I think it's just a little higher than Alephus or Elephus. Let's see. Ah, god dang it! I got a fail on the last one. Curses. I was right that it was reasonably close, but only 52. Still good and better recently. I like to see that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure having. If you want to catch more of this series, I will link the playlists for both of them on the outro screen, and in the description there will be the next and previous episodes as well. If you want to find out how to submit and guarantee that your replay is used, you can look in the description as well. If you want to catch these episodes live, or catch me live when I'm playing World of Tanks on weekends, you can follow my Twitch channel. Link to that is also in the description. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You better never ever shoot versus the man, cause that's a jerk of his hand, hence you're a permanent ban, yep. Like in a roleplay game, you wield a dagger but get smashed from half a globe away. But don't worry mate, he's sorry you could have known though, it's all the same story, you better not berate him. He is living in the country next to the US with